What's happening, MJ traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Saturday, March 30th. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. And in this video, we're going to do another rapid fire news update video for the period March 23rd to March 29th. Again, this isn't to go into deep dive details. It's just a high-level overview of all the pertinent information and news pieces that happened over the last week or so. And I tried to keep these around 10 to 15 minutes. This one, spoiler alert, may go a little bit longer than that because there was a lot going on. It just seems like there's never a dull moment in MJ these days, but got to get right to it because there's a lot to cover. Before we get to it, though, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, all that good stuff. Take the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Also, follow us over on X if you care to follow us on that platform. Really do appreciate all of the followers lately. It's the best way for me to get real-time updates out to the community. I'm going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Handle for that is, again, at Group POW. Also going to be giving away a membership to the POW Group private community valued at about $149, and I'll be announcing that winner on 4/20. All you need to do is go and just go to the channel, scroll down to the videos, and if you go to the main one here, you'll see Nevis Brands. I just interviewed their CEO. They're the number one beverage brand in the US. And if you just go to that video, put a comment on there, I'll be picking a random comment. There's only a few comments so far, so I think there's 15 comments at the moment. So I'll be doing a random comment picker, so you can go comment on that video and enter for a chance to win, and I'll announce the winner on April 20th, 4/20. And Germany approves MJ reform plan. Possession will go live April 1st. So on Monday, possession and Pillar 1 not-for-profit will take effect. No, it's not an April Fool's joke. It's actually happening. And there's even more bullishness that could continue with Florida as well, which we'll cover here in just a moment. MJ Biz Daily says that tax reforms pharmacy sales among Canada's MJ Law Review recommendations. So as we know, where there's talks that we could see on April 16th, the federal budget in Canada. I've already done a video on this. You can check it out. But there's talks that they could switch from a percentage to a percentage fee instead of a flat fee for excise tax, which we know Organogram, Auxly paying almost a third of their total annual revenue to excise taxes. Tilray said if they make $300 million in revenue, if they make $300 million, then they pay about $150 in excise taxes. So there's going to be, tens of millions of dollars. Tilray said it would even add $70 to $80 million to their bottom line, which would be massive, right? So Decibel selling Prairie Records MJ stores to FICA. And if you remember, FICA was actually the ones who bought Fire and Flower. So they're on the up and up for sure as the struggles continue in the Canadian landscape, not just from a producing standpoint, but also from a retail standpoint as well. Also, Grow Generation announces a share repurchase program. So the stock responded quite well to that. Board of Directors has authorized the company's first share repurchase program to repurchase up to 6 million of the company's outstanding common stock. So great to see. Auxly auditor flags going concern risk as MJ firm reports smaller loss. So I did a video on their earnings. If you haven't seen that, you can check that out. But yeah, they did get rid of their debt, but they still have a going concern, and they do have a negative operating deficit. So that was one thing to keep in mind. But I think this company, we saw it go from like a penny up to like 7 cents. And I did a video and I said that we could go to 4.5 cents to 7 cents very, very quickly. And sure enough, pretty much the next day, I think we were at like six or 7 pennies just after the earnings. And yeah, this is looking like it could be one hell of a turnaround story. Just imagine if this goes from 1 penny back to all-time highs around $2. That's life-changing wealth, right? So I think probably going to be a buyout target, but definitely worth the risk in my opinion. I do own it in my portfolio. Check out my MJ portfolio 2024 with percentage breakdown for updates on my entire MJ portfolio holdings. I own a mix of both American and Canadian producers, retailers in the US and Canada, and ETS. Also, Nova MJ announced fourth quarter and year-end 2023 results. Fantastic quarter, positive net earnings. I've already done a video on this as well, so I highly encourage you to check that out. I don't want to spend too much time kind of repeating myself. So check out that video if you want to see a deep dive into their earnings. High Tide to open fourth Cabana and Mississauga, Ontario, as they continue to roll out stores. As we know, the government has approved a double store count from 75 to 150. So lots of work to do just in Ontario, then expand to the rest of Atlantic Canada. And then Germany coming online, Pillar 2, some point in 2025, 2026, more than likely. And then the US showing lots of reform. So lots of growth ahead for High Tide. And a rising high tide lifts all boats. Body and Mind announces Q2 2024 financial results, so revenue of $4.4 million, net loss of $0.2 million. So a very small operator, profitable operator, and it could be a buyout target as well. I do hold a very small position in my MJ portfolio as well. Also, Trulieve to open medical MJ dispensary in Cocoa Beach, Florida. I guess it's Cocoa Beach. Never heard of that beach before, but they continue their rollout and retail expansion as well as we look to potential Florida on the ballot in terms of adult use sales here into the November elections. Also, Organigram invests in U.S.-based open book extracts representing inaugural Jupiter investment. So I already did a video on this as well. You can check it out. But essentially, they also raised $25 million Canadian, and the deal price was a lot lower. It was $3 and let me just go down here. I think it was $3.25. $3.23, and we were a lot higher than that at the time it came out, and then we actually dropped a lot lower, but we should trend back to the deal price. We're still looking for a monthly higher low and higher high, and we haven't formed the monthly higher low yet. So show me the chart, I'll tell you the news, and I could have probably saw this. If you're looking at the chart, I was telling people, you can probably see this coming because we have yet to form a higher low on the monthly time frame. We still need that higher low and pullback to give us that monthly uptrend, and sure enough, timed perfectly, right? It's really like there is puppet masters pulling the strings, right? AYR Wellness boosts Florida MJ cultivation facility mortgage by $8.4 million. Great to see, as capital is hard to come by these days. AFC Gamma provides $34 million to Sunburn MJ in debt capital. I actually was in one of the Sunburn locations whenever I was in Florida visiting some friends and whatnot. It was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, they're doing a lot of great things in Florida as well. And like I said, huge beneficiary of the Floridian market once we see potential for adult use sales, which I think has a pretty good chance of getting enacted at some point in 2025, more than likely in the summertime. Also, MediPharm Labs reports fourth quarter and full year results. So their 2023 full year revenue increased 50% to $33 million versus the prior year of $22 million. So again, you can check out that entire report if you feel so inclined to do so. Forefront Ventures to report fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial results on April 15th, 2024, as earnings season continues. And also the Cannabis Company to report first quarter 2024 results on May 9th, 2024 as well. We also have Tilray Brands Inc. to report third quarter 2024 financial results on April 9th, 2024. And if you're confused by first quarter, third quarter, it doesn't mean the actual quarter that we're in calendar-wise. It means fiscal, right? Some companies have different fiscal year ends, so their actual fiscal quarter is different than the actual calendar. And third quarter 2024 earnings call will be on April 9th in the morning at 8:30 a.m. as well. So we should see in the morning around 7 and 8 o'clock those earnings should come out for Tilray. I'm definitely going to be covering that. I just did an earnings prep video. You can check that out as well. I got pretty passionate in that video, but I wouldn't change a thing. Arizona sets record with nearly $1.5 billion in MJ sales in 2023. Some people still think that this industry is not going to be profitable. I say, give your head a shake, please. MJ producer Rubicon reports quarterly profit of nearly $900,000 Canadian. So it's not just the government in Canada now that's seeing lots of profit from this industry. We're starting to see, I've been saying for a while now, the days are numbered of unprofitable LPs in this space, licensed producers here in Canada, and especially with excise taxes coming, improvements to that, tens of $1 million hitting their bottom line. We're going from 10 milligrams to 100 milligrams soon. We could see other improvements as well. It's only going to make it easier for us to combat the illicit market and convert those over from that market to the legal market. Also, DEA officials discuss MJ's scheduling timeline, seeking to correct misperceptions that decisions are made in a shroud of secrecy. And if we scroll down here, DEA official says the agency wants to correct misconceptions that the drug scheduling review process is done in a shroud of secrecy as it works to reach a final decision on possibly reclassifying MJ. He also said it sometimes takes up to 6 months for the DEA to complete its analysis of health officials' recommendations, which is just about how long it has been now since the agency began its current MJ assessment. Interesting. I've been saying for a while now that I think the most likely scenario is we get Schedule 3. And I think the most likely scenario and timeline is between now and the end of April. So this is interesting, and it's not a coincidence, in my opinion, that April 16th, save the date, budget for Canada, federal budget, we could see excise tax switch to a percentage fee, which would be huge as well. It's not a coincidence we're seeing Schedule 3 potentially and removal of 280E and a switch in Canada excise taxes at the same time. These are puppet masters pulling the puppet strings, and they know exactly what they're doing. Florida Supreme Court can issue MJ ballot opinion at any time before Monday deadline, but no provisions on what happens without ruling official says. So basically no news is good news here. But essentially if we don't hear anything, we could very well, I think it's over a 90% chance at this point that it ends up in the ballot for adult use in Florida in for the vote here at the end of the year. And then I'm very confident, 70-80% confident that it's going to actually get enacted in the summer of 2025. And we also have Ohio come online recently, Pennsylvania, safer banking, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, Germany. We have excise tax in Canada. There's so many things to be bullish on. It's not even funny. Also, Schwaz announces fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial results. So fiscal 2023 revenue of $172.4 million. So that was great to see, and generated $12.2 million of operating cash flow in fiscal year 2023. But again, you can check out the full report for more details. Also, Gold Flora reschedules fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial results filing to April 1st, 2024. Not sure if you can hear my daughter crying in the background, but we've got some company over, and they've been over for a few hours now, and she's probably getting tired. She loves meeting people, but she gets tired pretty quickly, but God love her. High Tide closes acquisition of premium Canadian MJ brand, Queen of Bud. So I've already covered this on a previous earnings video as well. You can check out that video. IMMJ also reported reported 2023 financial results. Again, running out of time here, and I encourage you to check that out on your own time if you haven't already seen that. Not really a name that I cover very, very closely either. Also, Planet 13 to open Las Vegas' second MJ consumption lounge. This is something I'm looking forward to the next time I'm in Vegas. Even in Colorado, California, there's even a restaurant here in Edmonton now, CBDN. I've done a video on that where you can cook, and it's basically like educating. They do cocktails, things like that, all with MJ infused. So it's gearing up for a fun time ahead. And there's even a party bus in Colorado that you can jump on, and all of these things on my bucket list. So fun times ahead for sure. Also, Virginia governor vetoes adult use MJ legalization. As a widely expected, Virginia's Republican governor vetoed a bill that would have finally legalized adult use MJ sales in the state. Nothing to worry about. It'll happen soon. Don't worry. Game theory playing out. The dominoes have already started to fall, and it's just a matter of time before it ultimately gets rescheduled. Then we get safer banking, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ at the Wall Street banks position, like the JP Morgans, the Morgan Sachs, the Goldman Sachs, the Morgan Stanleys. And then we get full-blown descheduling, similar to what Germany and Canada did, is my opinion, over the next few years. And then it'll effectively legalize it. And then we'll see what the states, if there's any kind of pushback there. But, I really don't think so. And we've already got, half of the United States basically adult use. So Ohio is the 24th. So it's just a matter of when, not if. Also, Biden touts MJ scheduling review and pardons in new proclamation for Second Chance Month. So again, it just seems like every time you turn around, MJ is being mentioned, and not so much by the executive branch, but until recently. And it's, Kamala Harris saying nobody should go to jail for smoking weed. And we need to basically effectively legalize it. Even Elizabeth Warren saying on the late night show with Stephen Colbert that we need to legalize it, get it descheduled. Because 2 ways you can do it: deschedule it from the Controlled Substances Act and narcotics list, or through Congress. But she said we don't have a functioning Congress in the U.S., so more than likely going to get descheduled, which I would have to agree with. Also, Leafly Holdings, Inc. reported fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial results, delivered Q4 2023 revenue of $9.7 million, reported Q4 2023 net loss of $0.5 million, adjusted EBITDA of $1.2 million. And again, I'm not going to go into whole details on that. You can check out that report if you feel you'd want to learn more on that. Also, Leafly Holdings, Inc. announces appointment of 2 MJ industry veterans to its board. So this company is going to be interesting. This is, if you're not familiar with Leafly, I think they're, it's a good way to diversify in an MJ portfolio. Their business model, a lot different than the other ones that we have here in Canada. And I think they partnered with Uber as well, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be interesting. This time it's different, right? We have Uber, Amazon, Apple, all backing federal reform. So I truly believe this time is different. Also, CV Sciences, Inc. reports fiscal year-end 2023 financial results. You can check out more details on that. And Ianthus reports fiscal fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial results as well. And last but not least, we have Hawaii lawmakers advance bill to expand state's MJ decriminalization law as broader legalization hangs in balance. But again, just a matter of when, not if. And the dominoes have already started to fall, and game theory will play out. More and more countries, right? Germany's the next to follow suit here on Monday. That'll be Pillar 1, not-for-profit. Pillar 2 will likely come in a year or two, and that'll be for-profit adult use sales. We'll see other countries in the EU, and then we'll continue to see other states, and ultimately the biggest economy in the world, the United States. And this is only going to ever happen once, folks. So change your mindset, and like I said, take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. All right, enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's Rob with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know what you think of this news, and we'll see you again on the next video.